Dak79 here, just doing a little video on my new flight suit that I got from Magnoli Clothing. Now, I ordered a flight suit. I actually ordered 2 flight suits about 8 months ago. It's taken a long time to get here. We have had COVID going on, so there's been a lot of problems there. Also, I was one of the first orders, and apparently there's a few problems which they rectified early on, therefore it delayed the flight suits. If you go to their website, you'll see that I think they've got overstocks on sale at the moment. I'm presuming the overstocks that are in the sale are the first generation of them that were made and have the slight defects. But I had to wait, and I got my flight suits. So I'm going to do a little compare between the nearest thing you can get based on screen accuracy, and then what I ordered in. This here, you can see the difference in colours already. This here is a CWC 27/P. You'll know these ones. These are basically military flight suits. The nearest thing you can get now that they used for the film. Downside is if you buy one of these, the zips are black. It was only the vintage ones, the old ones, that had the brass. Anything 1990s onwards have the black zips. So getting the brass zips to look like it's from the 80s film is quite important, which we'll get to. As you can see, this is my flight suit. When I put this one together, I got my no ghost symbol. This at the time was the nearest you could get to it, 2.5 inches if I'm not mistaken, size. You can always measure it. No, 3.5 inches, that was it. So there's that. So this one, obviously its zips aren't exactly in the right place, and the worst thing about these flight suits are you didn't have a pocket zip on the side, and when you're like myself, who's a Ghostbuster, going to events, it's great having all these pockets, but the main ones you really need are at your waist. So here is the Magnoli flight suit. This is the GB1. So this is ripstop cotton. When Ghostbusters, remember, you always want to go a little bigger, because if you look in the film, they're very baggy on them. It's in the film, everything you see, from proton packs and everything, is things they've found and grabbed. So I always get the impression that they just grabbed these flight suits from somewhere and they never were meant to fit them. If I'm not mistaken, they're all exactly the same size in the film. Large. So, first things first, the quality of this suit is fantastic. I've been right through it, checking for everything. So yeah, so you've got all this lot. Now you've got the option to have your leg hose attached on your GB1 tan and your GB2 tan flight suits. Remember, the Charcle one doesn't have it. I did drop a little message in mine when I was ordering, because I ordered the GB2 suit as well, and I asked if they could put another one of the leg hoses in for me, but not attached to any of the suits, which they did do, which was very nice of them, because this is the part I was always worried it would get broken, torn. I wanted one put on the flight suit because I wanted the stitching correct. You see how it's got that large stitching. Obviously now when you put your hose in, your hose won't attach. My little trick is a tiny little Allen key screw that I screw into there, and then my pipe just fits on. You don't want to glue your pipe in, because if you catch that pipe on something at a convention, or you're on the underground, say, like I was in New York, if it pulls and tears, you've damaged the suit. So yeah, it's very thick, very heavyweight. All the stitching is extremely high quality. The font is correct for the name. So when you order your flight suit, you get to put your name on there. So I've got my Dak79. This is interesting because if you compare this font here, that one there is the nearest thing you can get online on sort of eBay, and this is screen accurate, so it's really cool to see that they've actually got it right. Remember, Ghostbusters 1 and 2 have a different font, as you can see here. So yeah, my thing that I like the most here is the brass. You've got the brass zips. I know a lot of people actually paint their zips brass, or they remove all the zips from their flight suit and put new ones on. So having that on is great. So I tried it on. It breathes well. It's heavy duty. I get the feeling this will be the last flight suit I'll be buying. I was a bit worried because obviously when I ordered them, I hadn't been in lockdown that long. During lockdown I might have eaten one too many packets of Pringles and I was a bit kind of, ooh, is it going to fit? But it does fit. I went for 42 regular. Now although you can custom measure your flight suits, because in the film they weren't custom made flight suits, I kind of wanted it to be an off the shelf size so it's baggy in the wrong places, etc., because that's how it was in the film. You could have them custom made to your body, I guess if you've got really short legs or something, but that actually kind of takes away a little bit of the screen accuracy. It was straight off the shelf. So there you go. Now here, this is something special. Mainly because the colour. Now all the Ghostbusters out there know, anybody who wants the dark flight suit, especially at Christmas, if you're doing Christmas parades, etc., if you remember in the film, they have the Christmas hats on when they wear these. That's mainly why I want this one. We do a lot of parades at Christmas here with the Jersey Ghostbusters. And the short films that I'm writing at the moment, which the Jersey Ghostbusters will do once COVID is over, we've written it into the script that the night shift wear dark flight suits and the day shift wear the tan. Nice little touch there, I thought. So here, fantastic. They've got the font right. Very important. The font is different. I hate it when you see the same font on the Ghostbuster 1 and 2 suits. So that's really good. You've got your brass. Very important. Even though, say, Ghostbuster 2, so that was 89, wasn't it? So it's still the 80s when the brass was around. I know obviously their flight suits would have been things they'd found lying around that are probably already 10 years old. So it's really good. The no ghosts, like with both of them, slightly off-white. Got it right. Some people might look at them and think, oh, my flight suit's got a bit dirty. No, you don't want these too bright. What is very important as well, I like what they've got the red stitching on the red here. Now, if I'm not mistaken, in the film, the stitching's a lot more thicker, as if they'd sat at a table while eating their Chinese, sewing it on. I'm not too sure if machine stitching the patches on is correct. I'd have to double check. I think that it should be more sort of rough. It's a bit like the proton packs. A lot of people made complaints when proton packs came out. I can't remember the company that made them, but selling them for a fortune. People were complaining that their nuts and bolts are rusty that came with the pack when they were buying the kits. And it's like, well, they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be the stuff they picked up out of the garage, stuff they found. Everything is stuff they found. Yeah, it's the imperfections that make them perfect. So it's the imperfections which make them. So yeah, it's exactly the same. Heavy duty, but it feels like it can air. I tried them on. I tried on this one yesterday and with my pack on because I was very worried that putting the pack on and off, I wanted to check that they can take the weight. Also, it's making sure that the badges, the name tags are in the correct places. A lot of people have them too far over. You've got to remember is when the proton pack, when the Alice frame is over you, you should still be able to see your name. So a lot of people's mistakes are they put their name badges kind of where you'd expect a name badge to be. Or if you buy a military one, it's got the Velcro there already, they just put the badge where that is. And you've got to shunt it right over to the zip. Right over. So, unless you've got a huge name, and then tough luck, mate. So yeah, as you can see, I've already put my my Jersey Ghostbuster symbol on my arm, which some people who have bought these as collector's items will be like, oh no, what's he done? But these are actually going to be extremely used suits. The suit I'll use most, it's going to be the tan. But as you can see, you can compare the colours. There you go. So as you can see, this one is the nearest you can get if you're doing it yourself. Funny enough, this flight suit on its own, with no name badges on, etc., will cost you $199. I'm going by American prices because that's the nearest thing you can find on the internet. So that one's the flight suit on its own, with its imperfections, its black zips, and no name badges on, $199. Magnoli, with the patches, with the name badge, the brass, and this one cost me, I think I got this one for $195. So it's $5 or $4 cheaper to get the Magnoli one that has the pockets in the right places, including, which I was saying before, it's got the pocket on the side, very good for conventions, and your leg hose. So it's a no-brainer. If you're wanting to get one that's screen accurate, you want to look good at the conventions, or you're doing a short film and you've got your Ghostbusters together, you might as well go to Magnoli, get it made properly, and it's technically £5 cheaper than buying that, because then you've got to go and buy your name badges and your no ghost. And funny enough, getting a no ghost that's 3.5 inches online, getting it correct, getting it sent to you correctly, and not having to send it back because it's wrong, it's hard work. So I'd say just sack off all them little people, go to these people, get your flight suit, and you'll be a happy Ghostbuster like myself. Star rating, out of 10, I give them a 9.5, 10. You know, only thing I'd say is maybe that stitching's slightly wrong, and also, let's have a little look. No, it's the right size. I heard someone complaining online saying that the no ghost, but then, as I say, I had to wait a little longer because there were a few complaints about things. That patch is correct. 3.5 exactly from side to side. So the no ghost, that was probably the closest you're gonna get, and it technically comes free on the suit. So some people say it's a lot of money for a flight suit. No, not at all. Not for the workmanship. I mean, I've bought things from Magnoli before, as you've seen in my previous videos. My Leon, the professional cosplay, the glasses, they came from this company as well. And did my hat come from there? I can't remember. But I've also got my Leon hat. But what would be interesting to see if this company were to decide to make proton packs. I reckon with their eye, they could probably do a better job than a lot of the things I've seen out there. I mean, that's why I made my own, because I just looked at this, they were so expensive and they just weren't right. But these guys, I think it was one guy originally, and the company's grown. They really do. You can tell that they actually genuinely love and like what they're doing, and they're doing it for the customers. Not like a lot of these companies that are pumping out stuff because they want the money. You know, a film comes out, they look at something, take a screenshot, make it, and it's cheap on the net. You know, find it on wish.com. But no, really happy with these. Anyway, big talk about all that. DAX79, just having a quick chat about the Magnoli flight suits, and I recommend you go and order one now. I'll put all the links in the description so you can get one yourself. This is not a paid advert, by the way. This is just a review. YouTube, don't be taking away any money I make off my videos because I've recommended something. Please, thank you. DAX79 out.